The New Delhi Chief Minister, the new New Delhi Chief Minister, Rekha Gupta, and her new cabinet have gotten right into action from day one. They took part in the evening Yamuna Aarti at the banks of the same Yamuna River, which was the object of much scorn and derision throughout the election campaign. The cabinet met. They decided to implement, among one of the first decisions taken today by the new cabinet, was the Ayushman Bharat scheme to be kick-started in the state of Delhi. Remember, when Kejriwal was Chief Minister and then subsequently when Atishi was Chief Minister, the Aam Aadmi Party refused to implement Ayushman Bharat in the national capital. They had their own scheme, their own version of medical care. But playing to the galleries is one thing. It's day one, it's less than 24 hours, yes, but there is a lot of hard work to do. Delhi's water, its air, its roads will all need a major cleanup, and that's going to be an onerous task. The question is, are Rekha Gupta and her new team, which has Parvesh Verma, Manjinder Sirsa and others, 6 ministers plus the Chief Minister, are they ready for this task in front of them, which is very much cut out?
मिशन विकसित दिल्ली का है, उसको पूरा करने के लिए लगातार काम किया जाएगा। एक भी दिन उसमें से व्यर्थ नहीं होगा और एक एक कमिटमेंट जो हमारी दिल्ली से है उसे पूरा करेंगे।
So Delhi's newly sworn in Chief Minister Rekha Gupta drove right into business. She set the stage for what many are calling a Vikas Rekha challenge, a pledge to bring rapid and inclusive development to the national capital. She's already outlined a bold agenda to tackle some of the most pressing issues faced by Delhiites. Here are the top 5 priorities for the new government here in Delhi. Number 1, like I said, is to roll out the Ayushman Bharat scheme in Delhi, ensuring that more and more citizens of the national capital benefit from affordable healthcare. This was on the agenda in the first cabinet meeting as well, and that is likely going to be the first thing that the government of Delhi will pass. Number 2, and this is going to be not an easy task, cleaning up of the Yamuna River, the river that flows through the heart of the national capital. It's going to be a focal point of the new Chief Minister's efforts. Work has already begun. The optics were on point. Today, the new Chief Minister, Ms. Gupta, along with her entire cabinet, reached the Yamuna Ghats. They offered the evening Aarti there. But that's not quite the same thing as cleaning up the entire river, because it involves getting multiple state governments on board as well, Haryana, Uttar Pradesh, etc. Number 3, with the monsoon season approaching, the desilting of roads as well as sewers to try and prevent waterlogging and flooding. That's a recurring issue. We remember the images from last monsoon season where people at a coaching center in the heart of Delhi died because of water entering their campus. This is going to be a big test of the new government, the upcoming monsoon season, in about 3 to 6 months. A citywide sanitation drive to address waste management problems. Remember, for years now, we've seen mounds of garbage, not just the Ghazipur landfill, which is perhaps the biggest in the entire country, maybe even all of Asia, but also from neighborhood to neighborhood, mounds of garbage, which had become almost like an ubiquitous sight, because oftentimes it was that these MCD workers were not being paid on time. Oftentimes it was clashes between RWAs and these MCD workers, and sometimes it was simply just clashes between the LG's office and the previous Aam Aadmi Party government. So again, an onerous task, a task that is cut out for the new government under Ms. Rekha Gupta. In response to Delhi's infrastructure woes, and this is something that Delhi used to be proud of, 10 years ago or 15 years ago when Sheila Dikshit was Chief Minister, Delhi used to have world-class infrastructure. The Chief Minister, the new Chief Minister, will now have to start focusing almost immediately, right from day one, on repairing and maintaining Delhi's roads, which have long been a concern for commuters.
We have a very declared priorities. हमारी priorities declared है, हमारी गारंटियों के रूप में हम उसको पूरा करके दिखाएंगे. Yamuna is a priority. Yamuna should have been cleared. Ma Yamuna should have been.
All right, I want to go across to our political face-off right at the top of the show. Tuin Sinha, national spokesperson of the BJP, joining us. Dr. Sunny Ahluwalia, spokesperson of the Aam Aadmi Party. Tuin, so optics go a long way in politics, but it's still early days. It's just day one. The entire cabinet of the new Chief Minister, Ms. Rekha Gupta, coming to the Yamuna Ghats, performing the evening Aarti. That is one thing, but to clean up the Yamuna, it's going to take anywhere between 35,000 to 50,000 crores. This is a promise you have made to the people of Delhi. and she's going to be judged on that. Her cabinet, her government is going to be judged on that.
Well, good evening, Zakka. Good evening, everybody. You know, the beginning the tenure with an Aarti at Yamuna, there is more to it than symbolism. It shows the confidence of the new state government. It shows the commitment to Yamuna. Now, you know, we had Arvind Kejriwal, who had no idea where 7,000 crores went, you know, in the name of cleaning of Yamuna. But whether it requires 35,000 crores, whether it requires 50,000 crores, the very fact that we have begun with a Yamuna Aarti is a reiteration of our commitment to cleaning Yamuna. That's point number one. Now, you have very correctly listed out the key priorities. Health. Ayushman Bharat, the implementation is very high on our agenda. That should take place in the next couple of months. Education. You know, that's very important. But more importantly, the infrastructure and the complete, you know, sanitation issues. People in Delhi are struggling to, you know, live a decent life because of complete collapse of infrastructure. In the last 1 year, there had been 16 waterlogging deaths, 26 electrocution deaths, plus, of course, you know, throughout the winter season, particularly late October, November, December, the city becomes unlivable because of the air. All of these will be addressed in the first year itself. And I think, you know, the government has started with a lot of confidence, with a lot of commitment, and the commitment will go ahead and yield results very soon.
Dr. Ahluwalia, you know, that was the fundamental reason why Arvind Kejriwal and the Aam Aadmi Party lost. I mean, people say corruption and all of those issues, you know, politics, the constant loggerhead between state and centre, the LG's office, etc. But fundamentally, there was a governance deficit, whether it was roads, which used to be the pride of Delhi at one point of time, whether it was the drains and the sewers, people dying because of waterlogging in Delhi is unheard of. We saw that last year. The Yamuna, which should have been the pride of the national capital, it's dirty, filthy, and again, there was just politics between centre and state. There was a basic governance deficit which Delhiites are yearning for, and Ms. Rekha Gupta and her team seem to have acknowledged that and addressed that. Whether or not they will deliver, they will be judged, but at least they are saying that, look, we will try and live up to the promises and the expectations of the people of Delhi.
First of all, congratulations to the Rekha Gupta, our DU pass out and DU president as well. Every Delhi, you know, is looking forward that how they are going to complete their manifesto promises. And people are also hoping that they will continue with the Aam Aadmi Party social welfare schemes given by Shri Arvind Kejriwal ji. And we look forward for this because they have even promised this beforehand that we will continue with the electricity, we will continue with the water, we will continue with the free bus services, we will continue and we will give 2,500 rupees from which March? From the International Women's Day. And for the first day, we were looking forward that this will be passed in the first cabinet. But nobody has talked about that, and we are hoping that they will, maybe they will move towards that side very soon. And it is very well done. We can say that they can start it in a very good way by starting doing an Aarti in Yamuna, and we are looking forward that the neighbouring states as well, which are being governed by the Bharatiya Janata Party, especially the neighbouring state of Uttar Pradesh, especially the neighbouring state of Haryana, in which they have the Chief Minister, that they will now stop polluting the rivers of Delhi and even of these neighbouring states as well. We are looking forward for that also.
So
Number two, the
isn't
most
that a
important thing, as they were
fundamental
saying,
sort of break? The fact that now you have the central government, you have the LG's office and you have the state government, there has to be talmail between the three of them. There can't be politics because they all three belong to the same party, all three belong to the same dispensation. So Tuhin, ultimately, you know, but this whole every week, every day clash that was happening between Mr. Kejriwal and Mr. Saxena at the LG's office, at least that impediment should be out of the way. So now, you know, people of Delhi know you've got a double engine or triple engine or call it what you want. These people now have to deliver. If they don't deliver, they will have to be held to account.
I just want to put one thing in this.
Tuhin, and then I'll come back to you, Dr. Alwal. I'll come back to you.
Delhi. So Mr. Kejriwal is temperamentally unfit. You know, Mr. Kejriwal is temperamentally unfit to be in politics because he's an excuse monger. You know, 3 years ago, when they formed a government in Punjab, we had imagined, we had hoped that they would at least be able to combat the farm fires the stubble burning in Punjab, but that only increased, resulting in complete choking of Delhi. So Kejriwal was an excuse monger. He did not intend to do anything, and that is the reason he had no idea. 6 months ago, when multiple newspapers had reported that 7,000 crores had been spent by AAP government in the cleaning of Yamuna, he didn't say anything. Suddenly, before the elections, he said, I have no idea about the money. So I think, there is no comparison. This is a very well-intended government. And moreover, in the last 10 years, people have witnessed the complete collapse of every possible amenity in Delhi. And the Rekha ji has also been a councillor, a municipal councillor. So she has worked her way up. She is aware of the issues at the ground level. She is aware of the issues in the slums. And that would be an additional advantage in her discharge of responsibilities.
So let me give Dr. Ahluwalia the final word. You can say, okay, the central government was putting impediments in his way, the LG's office was putting impediments in his way. But the promise to clean up Delhi's air was made by Mr. Kejriwal and the Aam Aadmi Party, repeatedly saying, please give us, power in Punjab. We will ensure that the farm fires will be put out. You came to power in 2022 and we've had horrible years, 23, 24, horrible years as far as air pollution is concerned.
I just want to put one thing in. According to the spokesperson of Bharatiya Janata Party, what is a federal democracy for the states? What is a federal democracy? In case you say double engine sarkar or triple engine sarkar, that means whichever government comes in the center, every state should have no elections. Rather, they should give the chief minister directly to the person who have the center government, or they should give the government to the who have in the neighboring states. My simple claim and my simple things are that Punjab government has decreased 80% of the farm fires wherever the Bharatiya Janata Party ruled Haryana government and the neighboring state, there the fire was more. You can check the data of 2024, sir. We have created a war room specially for this in Punjab. But what happened to the Haryana? Why the only pollution is coming from the Punjab, which is 180 kilometers from the national capital, and why it is not coming from which is just 10 kilometers away?
So that
data has to be cleared out. Federal system.
We've heard this back and forth.
Federal democracy should not be challenged.
Okay.
Federal democracy should not be challenged. The states can have different government, but they can work with the umbrella over the central government. But that doesn't mean that they have to be a double engine sarkar, the same government in the lower and the same government in the center.
No, I take that point, but at least Delhiites,
and convert into the dictatorship.
With the verdict that has been returned, now can say that there's one party that they can hold to account. One party is responsible if their quality of life does not improve, whether it is roads or sanitation or cleaning up the Yamuna. At least this excuse that, different party in center, different party in state, that excuse no longer is valid. Thank you very much, Suin Sinha and Dr. Ahluwalia, for joining us.